I stand at the entrance of Belmont's, my hand gripping my leather clutch a little too tightly. Through the warm glow of the chandeliers, I can see them, laughing, holding up wine glasses, celebrating something. My family. The maitre d' greets me with that polite, practiced smile. Your name, miss? Before I can answer, my mother's voice cuts through the noise. Oh, there she is, finally. Heads turn. I can feel people's eyes on me as I walk in, the quiet click of my heels echoing against the marble floor. My black dress is simple but sharp, the kind that whispers success instead of shouting it. They're sitting at the best table in the restaurant, the one with the perfect view of the downtown skyline. The same skyline I once dreamed of being part of. There's my mother. Cousin Marcus. His wife, Brendan. The chandelier light catches on the ruby pendant at my mother's neck, a gift from my dad before cancer took him in my second year of college. I reach the table and stop. It doesn't take long to notice what they've conveniently ignored. There's no chair for me. Marcus lounges back, one arm across his chair, the other holding a glass of something fancy and golden. His smirk comes before his words. This table's for family, he says loud enough for everyone to hear. You might want to find a seat outside. The couple sitting nearby goes quiet, obviously uncomfortable. Don't mind him, Rita, Brendan says sweetly, but her tone is anything but kind. Marcus is just joking. But he's not. And we all know it. I don't respond. I just drag a chair over from another table. The legs screech against the floor, cutting through the soft piano music. My mother doesn't look at me. Elizabeth Harrington, once the strong one in the family, now just bends to whatever Marcus says. She smooths her napkin over and over, pretending it's wrinkled. You're late, she finally says, even though I'm 15 minutes early. I sit down in my mismatched chair. Traffic, I lie. The truth? I'd been sitting in my car for 20 minutes, debating whether to even come. There was no real reason to, no advantage. As they raise their glasses and laugh, a memory hits me, sharp and sudden. For years ago, my childhood bedroom stripped bare. Boxes of my things stacked by the door. This business idea of yours is just another phase, my dad had said, leaning against the doorframe. Not angry. Just dismissive. You'll be back when reality hits. That same day, I moved into a tiny apartment where the kitchen table doubled as my first office desk. I worked 18-hour days, lived on instant noodles, and built my company from scratch, one client at a time. That first Christmas, I called home. I could hear laughter and clinking glasses in the background as my mother explained they were just having a small gathering. One I wasn't invited to. When Rudy & Corp signed my first six-figure deal, the one that changed everything, I wanted to call them. Instead, I opened a bottle of champagne with my 2 employees and toasted to people who believe in themselves when nobody else does. Rita? Earth to Rita. Marcus snaps his fingers in front of my face. I blink and straighten up. Yes? We were talking about skiing, Brendan says, twisting her diamond bracelet. Marcus and I went in January. The Rothschilds were actually staying at our resort. I take a sip of water, letting her words fade into background noise. 3 days ago, my mother had called out of nowhere, breaking our usual pattern of polite monthly check-ins. It's been so long, sweetie, she'd said. Everyone misses you. Her voice had that tone I knew too well, saying more in silence than in words. And maybe I came tonight because some part of me still hoped for a place at the family table. Now, I see Marcus flashing his new Rolex as he talks, the same watch that costs more than a month's rent in my first office. Brendan's designer purse sits on the empty chair beside her, logo turned outward like it's part of the show. Their talk bounces between luxury trips and expensive purchases, frantic and empty, like actors who've forgotten their lines. I don't join in. I just watch. When the waiter brings coffee, I wrap my hands around the warm cup and quietly observe the show. You know what? I'm splurging tonight, Marcus says, tapping the menu. The Wagyu ribeye. And bring out the 2015 Bordeaux. Life's too short for cheap food. Lobster for me, Brendan adds. And maybe some champagne? It's a special occasion. We should treat ourselves. One by one, they order the priciest things on the menu, exchanging sneaky glances when they think I'm not watching. My mother fidgets with her napkin, clearly uneasy but not saying a word. And that's when it hits me. I finally get why they invited me. So then I told the Andersons that waterfront properties are practically selling themselves, Marcus says, swirling his wine like a pro. They signed the papers that same afternoon. 2 hours pass like this, empty talk and fake laughter flowing around me like water around a stone. Every time I try to speak, Marcus cuts in, his voice just a bit louder, drowning me out before I can finish a sentence. Nobody wants to hear about work at dinner, he interrupts when I start mentioning my company's expansion into Europe. He waves his hand dismissively. We're here to talk about family stuff. Family stuff. As if I'm not family. As if my life's work doesn't matter just because it doesn't fit their idea of success. I take a slow sip of water, quietly noting every little insult. The waiter has refilled my glass 4 times, but I've barely eaten anything. Watching. Listening. Learning. You look great for someone who works all the time, Brendan says, studying my face like she's searching for dark circles. Do you ever even leave that office of yours? Before I can answer. She's already talking about her spa weekend, words like rejuvenation and self-care rolling off her tongue like she's rehearsed them. My mother reaches across the table, her fingers brushing my wrist for a moment. Let's just enjoy being together, she says with a strained smile. It's been too long. I want to ask, whose fault is that? But I don't. Instead, I just nod and cut a small piece of my untouched salmon. Oh, Marcus, tell Rita about that new restaurant we tried last month, my mother says suddenly. The Italian one with the Venetian glass chandeliers. I set my fork down carefully. Last month? I ask, but the silence that follows says enough. We try to do this monthly, Brendan explains, admiring her manicure. Family dinner. It's kind of our tradition. I feel the realization hit, cold and heavy. A tradition I'm just now hearing about, I say quietly. Marcus clears his throat. Well, you're always so busy running your little company and all. The word little lands like a slap. I straighten slightly. Not too busy for family, if I'm invited. My mother's eyes dart nervously between us. More wine, anyone, she says quickly. Marcus leans forward, his Rolex catching the light. Speaking of business, he says, shifting the topic. The market's been rough lately. 3 deals fell through last week. He glances at me, his tone dripping with implication. Not everyone can be swimming in success. I know exactly what he's doing, the subtle play. Hinting at struggle. Suggesting I should help. That Mercedes you wanted might have to wait, Brendan adds, touching his arm. It's such a bad time for big purchases. She turns to me. I've been trying to replace my Audi, but honestly, everything's so expensive these days. Even the base models. My mother nods, adding softly, Rita's been so blessed with how well her business has taken off. And there it is, the setup. The fancy restaurant. The expensive orders. The sob stories about money, followed by pointed talk about my success. They didn't invite me to dinner. They invited my wallet. Right on cue, the waiter appears, holding a leather check folder. Marcus gives a small nod, and the bill lands in front of me with a quiet thud. I don't reach for it. The silence stretches. We don't buy, Marcus finally says, leaning back with that smug grin. Thanks for dinner, Rita. You don't mind, right? We figured, since you're doing so well. Every eye at the table turns toward me. My mother twists her napkin. Brendan's smile looks forced. Marcus looks victorious. Then my phone buzzes in my purse. I glance at the screen. Meeting confirmed for 9 p.m. We've locked in the Singapore contract. Celebrating at the office whenever you can make it. Jane. I picture Jane, my business partner, who once stayed up with me until 3 a.m. finishing a proposal. Miguel from development, who brought me soup when I was sick but refused to take a break. Sarah from legal, who believed in me enough to leave her big law firm and join our startup. These people saw me, supported me, celebrated me. They're my chosen family. The difference couldn't be clearer. Blood doesn't equal loyalty, respect, or love. Those things are earned. I pick up the check slowly. The whole table exhales, visibly relieved. My mother relaxes. Marcus smirks. Brendan adjusts her purse like she's already moved on. I set the bill right in front of Marcus. My voice is calm but steady. I'm not your personal ATM. The silence is instant. Marcus's face turns red. Brendan's mouth opens, but nothing comes out. My mother recovers first. Rita, honey, she says softly, using that gentle voice she used when I was little. You can help them out a bit, can't you? We're family. Family. The word hangs in the air, twisted beyond recognition. To them, family means I give and they take. My success is shared, but my struggles are mine alone. I meet my mother's eyes. Yes, we are family, I say quietly. Which is why I deserve the same respect as everyone else at this table. Marcus's hands start to shake slightly, his arrogance crumbling. $2,000 worth of entitlement colliding with the quiet wall of my self-respect. I stand, taking my purse, not angry, not rushing. Just calm. Like someone reclaiming her worth, one boundary at a time. Have you ever had to stand up to family members who tried to take advantage of your success? What did you say to draw the line? The bill sits between us, leather-bound and heavy. $2,200 for a single dinner. Marcus stares at me, disbelief replacing his smirk. His neck flushes red. You can't be serious, he says loudly, turning heads at nearby tables. You make more than all of us combined. I take another sip of coffee, letting the bitterness linger. That doesn't change who ordered what. Brendan leans forward, her voice sugary but sharp. We wouldn't have ordered all this if we knew you'd be so petty about it, she says, gesturing at the half-eaten desserts and half-empty wine bottles. Her diamond bracelet catches the light. My mother touches my arm, her fingers trembling. Maybe we can split it, she offers. You take half, and we'll cover the rest? The restaurant manager approaches, his polite smile stretched thin. Is everything okay here? He asks carefully, eyes darting between us and the untouched bill. Inside, my emotions crash like waves, anger, disappointment, and a strange, aching sadness for the family we could have been. The manager swipes the card through the machine and comes back with a stiff smile. I'm sorry, sir. This card has been declined. Marcus's face turns red. He pulls out another card, then another. Each time, the manager returns with that same apologetic look. Brendan digs nervously through her fancy purse, her hands shaking a little as she offers her own card. I'm sorry, ma'am, the manager says again. I sit there watching the scene unfold, my coffee now cold in my hands. The pressure of their expectations, the trap they set for me, feels heavy on my shoulders. But as I watch them scramble to fix their own mess, something changes inside me. I place a $5 bill beside my untouched cup. For my coffee, I say, adding another 20. And a tip for our waiter. 3 sets of eyes turn toward me, each showing a different kind of desperation. Marcus opens his mouth, but I meet his gaze so calmly that he stops before saying a word. I'm just letting everyone take responsibility for their own choices, I say, looking at each of them in turn. My voice isn't angry or smug, just firm. We all make choices. We all live with what comes after. I grab my purse and stand. The tension that's been sitting in my shoulders since I walked into Belmont's finally loosens. I feel lighter, taller, like I've dropped a weight I've carried for years. The manager clears his throat. Perhaps there's someone else you could call to help with the bill? Marcus's nostrils flare as he pulls out his phone. He walks away stiffly, making a call that clearly hurts his pride more than anything else. Brendan starts unclasping her tennis bracelet in a rush, then her earrings, stacking them on the table like she's preparing to pawn them. "Rita," my mother says, standing up and following me. Her voice drops to a whisper. "Please, think about this. Just this once. We can fix it later." I turn to face her. For the first time tonight, her expression looks real, not put on. There's fear in her eyes. Not just fear about the bill, but fear of losing me. "This isn't about money," I say softly but firmly. "It's about respect. I won't let myself be used, not even by family, especially not by family." She flinches, like my words hit her physically. But they needed to be said. As I turn, I catch my reflection in the restaurant's mirror. The woman staring back stands tall, her eyes clear and sure. For the first time in years, I recognize myself. Tomorrow, I'll be with people who value me, my team. People who work with me, not against me. People who've earned my trust through respect, not just blood. When I reach the door, my mother grabs my arm. "Please don't leave like this," she pleads, her voice small. Her eyes, the same color as mine, search for kindness. I place my hand over hers, feeling the fragile skin. "This pattern has to stop," I tell her gently. "I'll talk with you, just you, when you're ready. But there need to be new rules, respect, honesty, and no more taking advantage." She swallows hard and nods. "Call me when you're ready," I say, squeezing her hand before letting go. Then I push through the heavy glass doors and step into the cool night. Behind me, their drama continues, but in front of me lies freedom, a future I'm finally claiming one boundary at a time. The door stays open behind me, literally and figuratively. But only those willing to meet me halfway will ever walk through it again. My heels click against the parking lot. The night air feels clean after the stuffy tension inside. "Rita." Marcus's voice echoes behind me. I keep walking, my car keys in hand. Freedom is just a few steps away. "Don't you dare walk away. You're not part of this family anymore," he yells. The words are meant to hurt. 5 years ago, they would have. I slow down but don't turn. "Look at me when I'm talking to you." I turn around, standing tall. Marcus's face is flushed under the harsh parking lot lights. Brendan rushes to catch up, her heels clicking angrily. People at the restaurant door are watching now. "You ungrateful," Marcus stops himself, breathing hard. "Who do you think you are?" "I think I'm someone who just wanted a normal family dinner," I reply calmly, my voice steady while his rises. Brendan arrives, out of breath. "This isn't about dinner, and you know it," she says. My mother stands in the doorway, unsure, caught between her niece and nephew, and her daughter. Marcus runs a hand through his hair, looking too much like our father for a moment. Then his anger shifts into fake concern. "Mom has medical bills she can't pay," he says quietly. "We didn't want to ask, but it's serious." I look at my mother. She won't meet my eyes. And suddenly it all makes sense, the dinner, the show, the guilt trip. This wasn't just about paying a bill. It was a setup for money. "We wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious," Brendan adds sweetly. "Family helps family, Rita." A couple walking by slows down, pretending not to listen. "There are better ways to ask for help than manipulation," I say evenly. "If Mom was sick, I'd be the first to know." Mother finally steps closer, her ruby pendant glinting in the streetlight. "It's just some tests, honey. Don't worry. Insurance pays most of it." The betrayal hits harder than Marcus's anger. She was part of it all, using her health as bait. I take a deep breath. "Mom, if you need help, we can talk privately. I'll help with real expenses." "See?" Marcus jumps in. "She can afford it." I raise a hand to silence him. "I wasn't talking to you." Brendan steps forward. We're all family here. Helping family doesn't mean feeding bad habits, I say. Showing up to dinner just to trick me into paying your bills, that's not family. I pull a business card from my purse and hand it to Mom. Call me tomorrow. Just you. Then I look at Marcus and Brendan. You two can handle your own bill tonight. You can't be serious, Brendan blurts. I am. And if Mom really needs help, I'll listen. But I won't be manipulated again. I turn to leave, feeling their eyes burning into my back. You think you're better than us now? Marcus shouts after me. I pause. Am I? I glance back. No, I say simply. Just different, and that's okay. The truth hits him like a punch. His mouth opens, then closes. Brendan slumps onto a bench, her polished mask slipping away. Mom stands frozen, her eyes darting between us, torn. Headlights flash across us as a car pulls in, lighting up the whole painful scene. Rita, please, she whispers, but doesn't move toward me. I nod once. My number's on the card. Then I walk to my car without looking back. The cool air fills my lungs, and I realize I'm not sad, just relieved. For the first time in years, I've spoken my truth without apology. My hand doesn't even shake as I unlock my car. The woman reflected in the window looks calm, unbroken. Different, not better. And finally at peace. Inside my car, I take one deep, shaky breath before starting the engine. As I drive away from Belmont's, I leave behind more than an unpaid bill, I leave behind years of pressure I never agreed to carry. Tomorrow, Mom might call, or she might not. Either way, I'll sleep well tonight. 3 months later, I'm standing at the big windows in my office, watching the city wake up. 3 months since Belmont's. 3 months of rebuilding what family means. The morning sun shines on a framed photo on my desk, me at 22, tired but determined at my little kitchen table that doubled as my first workspace. I smile and touch the frame gently. A reminder of how far I've come. Rita, Maya, my operations director, calls from the door. Team's ready when you are. I follow her into the conference room, where 6 faces turn toward me, faces filled with something I never found at that restaurant table, real respect. Let's begin, I say. The meeting flows easily, everyone listens, no one interrupts. We build together, piece by piece. This isn't just a business. It's a family built on mutual respect. One sugar, right? Mom asks, sliding a coffee toward me at the cafe. Her hands are steadier now. I nod. We've made these coffee meetups a monthly thing. Small steps. The bookstore hired me full-time, she says with pride. The manager liked how I reorganized the history section. That's great, Mom. She pauses for a moment, then says softly, I've been meaning to thank you for not giving up on me that night. The memory of Belmont's flickers in my mind, but it feels like a ghost now, fading a little more each day. I'm learning too, I admit. Learning where to put my time and energy. Last week, Mom joined us for my birthday dinner, not at some fancy restaurant, but in Eliza's backyard. Eliza, my college friend, had hung string lights across her patio and made my favorite lasagna. Mom brought her homemade brownies and blended right in. She laughed, real laughter, at Jordan's terrible jokes and listened to Kim's stories about how hard things were when we started our business. For the first time, I saw her without the shadow of Marcus and Brendan hanging over her. Marcus took a job in Hartford, Mom mentions casually as we walk through the park the following Sunday. Something in sales. The pay's less, but he seems lighter? I nod, not really surprised. We haven't spoken, but I hear bits and pieces through Mom. Brendan's Instagram isn't full of designer clothes or exotic vacations anymore, now it's photos of home-cooked meals and weekend hikes. Their fall was tough, but it was necessary. He asked about you, Mom adds gently. When he's ready to talk honestly, he knows how to reach me, I reply. I've made peace with the fact that I can't control how fast things heal. Some relationships mend, others stay broken. And that's okay. That evening, my kitchen smells like garlic and rosemary as my friends move around comfortably, helping out. Mom places her freshly baked rolls in a basket, contributing, not expecting. Wine's open. Eliza calls, pouring generously. We all gather around my table, not some expensive mahogany one Marcus would have picked, but a simple cherry wood table, worn and warm, with tiny marks and scratches that tell stories. Each dent reminds me of laughter, of tears shed in good company, of late-night talks and wild ideas. As the conversations blend together, I realize what I've built here, not the fake version of connection that lived in those tense restaurant dinners, but something real. These people don't see me as someone to use, they see me for who I am, flaws and all. Later that night, Mom and I walk along the shoreline near my apartment. The sunset turns the water gold. She trips slightly on a rock and laughs softly. I'm glad we found our way back to each other, she says. I steady her with one hand, supporting, not carrying. Family isn't just who you're born to, I tell her gently. It's who you choose to become together.